$7,000. That's how much the wrong motorcycle can rip from your wallet, sometimes before you even hit 20,000 miles. You trust German precision, American heritage, Italian passion? Think again. Because oil pumps fail without warning, engines overheat on long tours, and bikes stall at highway speed, leaving riders stranded and broke. And here's the worst part. These breakdowns come from brands riders thought were bulletproof. Stick with me, because by the end of this list, you'll know the 10 motorcycles most likely to betray your trust and drain your savings. Number 10. Harley-Davidson Street Glide. Among Harley's touring lineup, the Street Glide stood as the bike every rider seemed to want, until owners discovered the hidden costs of loyalty. For many riders, it represents freedom, heritage, and the kind of pride that comes from owning a machine with decades of American identity behind it. Yet beneath the iconic batwing fairing and unmistakable touring stance, it left riders with more than they bargained for. At its heart was the twin-cam 103 engine, pushing out roughly 75 horsepower. Torque came in just under 100 pound-feet, offering the kind of low-end grunt that touring riders value on long open stretches. Harley paired that engine with a 6-speed transmission, designed to keep highway cruising relaxed while still delivering strong acceleration when needed. For many buyers, the combination looked like the perfect blend of heritage and modern capability. Harley equipped the Street Glide with a linked system, pairing twin front discs with a lone rear disc. Anti-lock braking was available as an option, giving added confidence in poor weather or emergency situations. On paper, it promised safety to match its power. Suspension used a conventional telescopic fork in the front and twin shocks in the rear. Harley emphasized comfort and stability, critical for a touring bike expected to carry riders across thousands of miles of interstate. Close to 830 pounds of wet weight gave it presence, yet the low frame kept it manageable. Seat height measured 26.1 inches, keeping it approachable even for shorter riders. Pricing started near $20,000, cementing it as a premium American touring option. Those numbers made the Street Glide appear steady, powerful, and long-haul ready. Touring amenities, comfortable ergonomics, and storage capacity further strengthened its appeal for riders who wanted one bike to do everything. Many men chose it as their entry point into Harley's touring lineup, expecting bulletproof performance with classic style. But the ride itself revealed deeper issues. Reports of oil pump failures plagued this model, leaving owners with dangerously low oil pressure and engines on the edge of catastrophic failure. Overheating, sudden breakdowns, and repair bills exceeding $3,000 left many stranded. Yet the real sting comes when even premium touring legends fall short, exactly what happened with BMW's flagship adventure machine. Number 9. BMW R 1200 GS. Adventure riders looked to the R 1200 GS as the machine that could conquer continents. But reliability cracks turned dreams of freedom into bills and breakdowns. For many riders, the R 1200 GS represents the dream of crossing continents with nothing but a tank of fuel, a tent, and trust in German engineering. That trust, however, was tested harshly. At its core sat an air and liquid-cooled boxer engine displacing 1,170 cubic centimeters. Output reached roughly 125 horsepower with just over 90 pound-feet of torque, numbers that positioned it as both powerful and refined. Through its 6-speed box and dependable shaft drive, the GS carried BMW's long-standing approach to durability. Braking came from dual discs in the front and a single disc at the rear, with anti-lock braking provided as standard to boost safety on mixed terrain. Suspension showcased BMW's unique engineering approach, with a telelever system in the front and a paralever setup in the rear. These designs aimed to reduce dive under braking and improve stability when loaded down for travel. Riders looking for comfort on long hauls found the setup inviting on paper. Coming in at roughly 570 pounds wet, the GS struck a middle ground between agility and heft. A tall seat height of 33.5 inches reinforced its adventure bike stance and demanded confidence from shorter riders. Pricing started near $16,000, placing it in the premium category even before options. On paper, those numbers explained why adventure riders flocked to the GS. It balanced touring comfort with off-road credibility and carried technology that promised both safety and confidence. BMW's heritage of engineering excellence gave buyers the assurance that this was the bike for serious travel. But out on the road, reality cut deeper. Cracked cylinder heads, premature fuel pump failures, and vibration beyond the expected boxer thrum left riders frustrated. For some, issues surfaced before 20,000 miles. Repairs often exceeded $5,000, and added clutch wear plus electrical gremlins compounded the pain. While the GS stumbled under its own weight, Ducati aimed for high-tech perfection and created a fresh set of problems with the Multistrada V4. If this list already hits close to home, give this video a like. Drop a comment below with the worst repair bill you ever faced, because real stories from riders like you keep this community strong. Number 8. Ducati Multistrada V4. Ducati promised the Multistrada V4 would be the future of adventure touring, yet what riders got instead was a reminder that high-tech can still mean high risk. In 2021, Ducati unveiled the V4 version, calling it the future of do-it-all performance. Riders were drawn in by the prestige of a Gran Turismo V4 engine and the bold claim that this machine was ready for every kind of road. At the heart of the bike sat a 1,158 cubic centimeter V4, delivering an impressive 170 horsepower. Torque measured just under 92 pound-feet, giving it the kind of pull that made passing effortless and climbing steep mountain roads second nature. That power traveled through a 6-speed transmission, paired with advanced electronics that gave riders adaptive control. Ducati equipped the bike with Brembo-style McCalipers gripping dual front discs with a rear single disc, all backed by a sophisticated cornering anti-lock braking system. Electronic skyhook units governed the suspension, offering automatic damping adjustments across varying terrain. On paper, it offered comfort and control in equal measure, whether on a smooth highway or an uneven gravel path. The wet weight measured in at about 525 pounds, a manageable figure for such a powerful adventure machine. The seat height ranged from 31.1 to 33.1 inches, adjustable to accommodate a wide range of riders. Pricing started near $20,000, placing it firmly in the premium tier of the adventure touring segment. For riders who wanted versatility and prestige, these specs read like a dream. The Multistrada V4 looked like it had the muscle to back Ducati's ambition of blending sport bike excitement with touring dependability. But real-world ownership painted another picture. Early models suffered from a serious valve guide defect, a flaw that could cause catastrophic engine damage long before the odometer climbed high. Ducati was forced into a recall, admitting that its flagship adventure model was not immune to failure. For riders who had spent top dollar, the news was more than disappointing. It was a blow to trust. Cutting-edge electronics didn't save Ducati, and brute force didn't save KTM either. The Super Duke R proved that raw power carries its own price. Number 7. KTM 1290 Super Duke R, nicknamed the Beast. KTM's Super Duke R lured riders with its raw aggression, only to reveal that living with it wasn't as thrilling as the ad suggested. That was the reputation KTM gave the 1290 Super Duke R, and on paper, the 2016 version looked every bit the untamed street fighter it claimed to be. Men who craved raw power and sharp edges gravitated to it instantly. At its center was a 1,295 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, tuned to deliver a blistering 177 horsepower. Torque peaked at just over 106 pound-feet, numbers that promised a machine capable of dominating straights and ripping out of corners with authority. That power was managed through a 6-speed transmission equipped with a slipper clutch to smooth aggressive downshifts. Braking came from dual front discs, with Brembo monoblock calipers and a single disc at the rear, controlled by a lean-sensitive anti-lock braking system. Suspension duties were handled by fully adjustable WP forks in the front and a WP shock in the rear. Riders could dial in their preferences for both track aggression and road comfort, further cementing its reputation as a bike built for precision. With a wet weight near 450 pounds, Ducati managed to keep the package relatively light. A seat height of 32.9 inches gave it a commanding stance while remaining accessible to many riders. Pricing in the United States started near $17,000, positioning it among the most expensive naked performance machines of its time. Looking only at the numbers, the Super Duke seemed like a street conqueror with few weaknesses. Aggressive styling, sharp ergonomics, and a reputation for thrill-seeking reinforced its appeal to men who wanted nothing short of dominance on two wheels. But the truth arrived with miles. Owners began reporting overheating in stop-and-go conditions, clutch failures that surfaced far earlier than expected, and even fuel pump malfunctions. In some cases, abrupt stalling at low speeds created real safety concerns, undercutting rider confidence. Repair bills climbed into the thousands, leaving many questioning whether the pursuit of pure aggression had gone too far. Wild aggression is one way to fail. Quiet heritage is another. Triumph's Bonneville T 120 showed that even a classic name can disappoint. Number 6. Triumph Bonneville T 120. Styled like a throwback but sold as modern performance, the Bonneville T 120 gave riders a taste of classic charm while hiding problems that cut into trust. With its retro lines and timeless twin, it promised riders a direct link back to motorcycling's golden age. The 2020 redesign of the T 120 looked like the perfect blend of heritage styling and modern reliability. Many men saw it as a way to ride history without sacrificing today's comfort. Under the tank sat a 1,200 cubic centimeter parallel twin, pushing roughly 79 horsepower. Torque peaked near 77 pound-feet, giving it steady pull from low revs that suited both relaxed cruising and spirited backroad runs. A 6-speed transmission carried that power smoothly, and Triumph paired it with disc brakes front and rear, backed by a standard anti-lock braking system for safety. On paper, it looked like classic charm with modern stopping power. Handling duties were split between basic front forks and dual rear shocks aimed at smooth cruising. The setup aimed to deliver a relaxed and predictable ride, matching the Bonneville's image as a gentleman's motorcycle. The wet weight measured close to 520 pounds, keeping it manageable compared to heavyweight cruisers. Seat height came in at 31.1 inches, making it approachable for a wide range of riders. Starting prices hovered around $12,000, keeping it in the premium but accessible category. On paper, the T 120 struck a perfect balance. Heritage design, approachable performance, and modern safety features all suggested a bike that could be trusted for weekend rides or daily commutes. Many men chose it expecting timeless style paired with worry-free ownership. But ownership revealed a harsher truth. Riders reported sudden stalling tied to emissions-tuned fuel mapping, especially when dropping to idle. Others complained of inconsistent throttle response and occasional misfires, undermining confidence in a machine bought for its smooth dependability. While not every bike suffered, enough did that the T 120's reputation for bulletproof reliability took a hit. Tradition wasn't the only brand to struggle. Indian promised dark power and bold styling, but the chief dark horse revealed cracks beneath the leather. Number 5. Indian Chief Dark Horse. Indian built the Chief Dark Horse to feel like a weapon on two wheels, but riders soon realized that power and style didn't guarantee lasting reliability. Its low-slung profile, aggressive stance, and thunderstroke engine gave it instant curb appeal. Many saw it as the symbol of Indian's rebirth and a rival worthy of respect. Under the tank sat a 1,811 cubic centimeter Thunderstroke V-twin, tuned to deliver roughly 79 horsepower. Torque came in strong at about 115 pound-feet, emphasizing the kind of grunt cruiser riders crave on open highways. Through a 6-speed transmission, power reached the ground, while braking strength came from dual front and single rear discs supported by anti-lock braking. On paper, stopping performance matched the bike's heavyweight power. Suspension used traditional telescopic forks in the front and twin shocks in the rear. The goal was balance, enough comfort for long trips, enough firmness to keep control over the bike's considerable bulk. 760 pounds of wet weight made the Dark Horse a substantial presence, both stable and demanding. Seat height stood at 26 inches, keeping it approachable despite the mass. Pricing began around $17,000, putting it squarely in competition with Harley's comparable touring and cruiser models. Looking at those numbers, the Dark Horse appeared to have all the right ingredients: torque-heavy muscle, low-slung comfort, and the aesthetic of a modern American heavyweight. For men seeking an alternative to Harley, it looked like a strong statement. But the reality undercut the promise. Owners have reported clutch failures appearing earlier than expected, leaving bikes stuck in gear or difficult to shift. Heat management also became a recurring complaint, with riders in hot climates struggling against excessive engine heat radiating into the legs. Combined with occasional electronic glitches, these issues made reliability a question mark rather than a guarantee. Repair bills for clutch replacement and related fixes often stretched into the thousands. For a brand built on reclaiming American pride, these stumbles hurt. And if Indian's proud challenger faced cracks in execution, the next entry proves that even Italy's quirky icon, Moto Guzzi, has seen its modern machines weighed down by flaws. If you value honest talk about motorcycles beyond the showroom gloss, make sure you subscribe. Every week we expose the machines that protect your wallet and the ones that betray your trust. Don't miss the truth other riders wish they knew. Number 4. Moto Guzzi V85 TT. Italian character and old-world engineering made the V85 TT stand out on paper, though ownership quickly revealed just how fragile that charm could be. Italian styling, a transverse V-twin engine, and a reputation for quirkiness gave it an immediate cult following. On the showroom floor, it looked like Moto Guzzi's return to relevance in the adventure segment. At its heart sat an air-cooled transverse V-twin engine displacing 853 cubic centimeters. Output measured around 80 horsepower with torque peaking at just over 60 pound-feet. It was not designed to overpower rivals, but to deliver steady, usable performance across a wide range of conditions. The 6-speed transmission carried power through a shaft drive, a selling point for riders who valued reduced maintenance compared to chains. Braking came from dual front discs and a single rear disc, paired with a cornering anti-lock braking system to add confidence on varying terrain. Suspension featured long travel front forks and a rear monoshock, both adjustable to suit touring or light off-road use. On paper, it provided enough travel for gravel roads while still offering stability on highways. The wet weight came in near 510 pounds, keeping it lighter than some full-size adventure machines. A seat height around 32.7 inches reflected its tall stance, expected in the category. Pricing began close to $12,000, appealing to riders looking for adventure capability without the premium of larger, higher horsepower bikes. Taken together, these specifications suggested a machine built for balance. Light enough for new adventure riders, comfortable enough for long weekends, and quirky enough to stand out in a parking lot full of mainstream models. Yet ownership often told a different story. Riders reported fueling hesitation at steady speeds, with the bike surging or stumbling unpredictably. Others complained of throttle response that felt inconsistent, especially when maneuvering at low speed. Shaft drive noise and vibration also surfaced as long-term concerns. While not catastrophic, these flaws chipped away at rider confidence, especially when compared to the polish of Japanese competitors. The V85 TT showed that uniqueness can be a double-edged sword. And as Moto Guzzi struggled with refinement, the next entry shows Ducati's sportiest twin delivered excitement, but also left riders stranded with a problem all its own. Number 3. Ducati Hypermotard 950 SP. Marketed as the hooligan's dream, the Hypermotard 950 SP delivered thrills in short bursts, but frustration set in once real-world riding exposed its flaws. With aggressive supermoto styling and the promise of raw Italian excitement, it drew in riders who wanted every ride to feel like a performance. On the surface, it looked like a machine designed to deliver thrills without compromise. Power came from a 937 cubic centimeter Testastretta L-twin, tuned to deliver around 114 horsepower. Torque peaked close to 70 pound-feet, providing sharp acceleration and a surge of energy at mid-range revs. That engine was paired with a 6-speed transmission and a quick-shifter system that allowed clutchless upshifts and downshifts. Braking came from dual Brembo calipers up front and a single disc at the rear, supported by Ducati's cornering anti-lock braking system for added safety. Suspension set the SP apart from the standard model, featuring fully adjustable Öhlins forks in the front and an Öhlins monoshock in the rear. The setup was aimed at riders who demanded precision in both aggressive canyon runs and track-style riding. With a wet weight near 440 pounds, the bike carried itself with surprising ease. A seat height of 34.2 inches reflected its tall, supermoto-inspired stance, favoring riders comfortable with higher ground clearance. Pricing started around $16,000, putting it firmly in the premium naked and supermoto-inspired category. On paper, the Hypermotard 950 SP seemed built to thrill. It had the power, the styling, and the premium hardware to make every ride unforgettable. For riders chasing adrenaline, it promised pure fun with a dose of Italian flair. Behind the showroom shine, the flaws came to light quickly. Owners began reporting sudden stalling when dropping down to idle, an issue that showed up in traffic lights and slow maneuvers. For a motorcycle marketed as sharp and aggressive, unpredictable shutdowns quickly undermined rider confidence. While Ducati acknowledged software-related fueling problems, fixes did not always resolve the issue entirely. Repair bills and diagnostic costs left many frustrated, questioning whether the excitement was worth the hassle. And if Ducati's lightweight thrill machine carried such flaws, the next entry shows that even 3 wheels and touring luxury did not guarantee reliability or peace of mind. Number 2. Can-Am Spyder RT. For riders who wanted stability without giving up the freedom of the open road, the Spyder RT seemed like the answer. 3 wheels, a touring fairing, and endless storage made it look like the perfect bridge between motorcycles and cars. For many older riders, it promised confidence and comfort in one package. At its center sat a 1,330 cubic centimeter Rotax inline triple, producing around 115 horsepower. Torque reached just under 90 pound-feet, numbers that gave it steady acceleration despite its considerable size. A 6-speed semi-automatic transmission carried power to the rear wheel, with an electronic reverse gear for convenience. Braking came from a triple-disc setup with integrated control, all tied into an advanced anti-lock braking system for consistent stopping power. Suspension included front double A-arms with an anti-roll bar, while the rear featured a swing arm and adjustable monoshock. On paper, this combination balanced stability at highway speeds with enough compliance for long-distance comfort. Tipping the scales at about 1,021 pounds wet, the Spyder carried serious bulk. A low seat height of 29.5 inches ensured accessibility for a wide range of riders. Pricing began near $24,000, placing it among the more expensive options for touring machines. Specs alone suggested a luxury touring experience unlike anything else on the market. For riders who wanted comfort, gadgets, and stability, the Spyder RT looked like a complete package. Once the miles added up, weaknesses began to show. Riders reported persistent overheating issues during long summer rides, with fans struggling to keep the engine in check. Electronics added further frustration, as problems with traction control, cruise control, and stability systems became all too common. Some owners faced repair bills exceeding $5,000, while others struggled with recurring faults that left them stranded despite repeated service visits. For a touring machine designed to inspire confidence, these failures cut deep. Riders who turned to the Spyder RT for safety instead found themselves doubting its reliability. And if even 3 wheels and a premium price could not guarantee dependability, the final entry proves that Harley itself, in its most recent generation, has faced failures that no rider can ignore. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Softail line. Few names carry as much weight in American motorcycling as the Softail. For decades, it represented Harley's balance of classic styling and modern engineering. Riders expected strength, comfort, and unmistakable identity. But the recall spanning 2018 through 2024 models revealed a flaw that shook trust at its core. Power for the Softail line came from Milwaukee 8V twins, ranging in displacement from 1,745 cubic centimeters up to 1,868 cubic centimeters. Depending on the model, horsepower figures landed between 78 and 90, while torque surged past 107 pound-feet. That muscle moved through a 6-speed transmission with braking handled by dual front discs and a single rear disc, all tied into an optional anti-lock braking system. On paper, it delivered modern stopping power without losing Harley's traditional feel. Suspension marked a key update in this generation. A hidden rear monoshock preserved the Softail's clean lines while improving ride quality, paired with conventional telescopic forks up front. This was meant to keep comfort high while maintaining the classic cruiser silhouette. Weights varied across the lineup, but most models carried wet figures between 650 and 750 pounds. Seat heights ranged from just under 26 inches to about 27 inches, keeping them approachable for a wide range of riders. Pricing began around $15,000, with premium models climbing higher. For riders who wanted Harley heritage with modern engineering, these specifications looked solid. The Softail carried the muscle, style, and accessibility to draw in both loyalists and new buyers. But reality hit hard. A defect in the rear shock preload adjuster mounting tab meant it could fracture during use. If the broken tab contacted the rear tire, it risked rapid tire deflation, an event that could cause sudden loss of control and a crash. More than 82,000 Softails were recalled, forcing owners back to dealerships and raising questions about oversight in Harley's most important lineup. For a motorcycle family trusted as the backbone of the brand, this failure cut deeper than numbers. It proved that even Harley's latest engineering carried vulnerabilities no rider could ignore. You've just seen the motorcycles that looked like freedom but left riders stranded with empty wallets. If your bike made the list, remember, you're not alone. Thousands have faced the same betrayal. Now it's your turn. Which of these machines deserved better and which should be forgotten forever? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe today for more straight talk on the bikes that protect or betray your trust.